Hey, how's it going? Stephen here from understandingaudio.com with something you can use to really help clean up your live drums. I've got a session open here that I've just started prepping for mix. It's come to me all edited and ready to go, bar a couple of little things that I've noticed that can really improve the mix before I even touch a fader. The first is in the toms. It's pretty clear to me from looking at the waveform that not all of the information on the track is a direct tom hit. The more prominent peaks and transients are much more likely to be the tom hits that we're looking to highlight in this track. Everything else is probably bleed from the other drums that have been picked up on the tom mic. The only way to know for sure is to listen to it, so let's check it out. Now it's pretty clear that all this section has no toms and it can be edited out. The same can be said for the very start of the track. The reason why I'm editing these out is because any sort of compression will raise the level of the bleed on this track. There's no real need for that because I already have the other spot mics and overhead mics doing their job properly. All this extra bleed on the toms isn't necessary, so you only really want compression affecting the direct tom hits themselves. Now, the next bit is where it gets a little tricky. You can hear the tom hit here is followed by a kick and crash together, then a snare hit and onto the ride cymbal. A lot of people will edit out everything from the kick and the crash all the way up to the next tom hit like this. Here I'm using tab to transient to tab between the transients and make the appropriate edits. That cuts out the bleed, but the tom hit ends unnaturally, and that's not the sound we're going for. The better approach is to cut the tom at the next snare hit, where the tail of that tom has rung out almost completely. So let me undo what I did, make the appropriate edits using tab to transient and edit again, and add some fades. Now going back to what I said about compression earlier, when this tom hit gets compressed, the level of this cymbal is going to increase if I have any makeup gain on the compressor. So instead of directly editing out the crash, we can EQ it so it doesn't sound as prominent on the tom track. If I make an edit at the zero crossing of the waveform at the crash and play it, you'll still hear the ring from the tom in there, but I don't want that crash to take over. So I'll select the zero crossing, make an edit, get out of loop playback mode here by control clicking the play button. I'll duplicate this track so I can show you an A-B between the two versions. Also want to come up to my options up here and make sure I'm in XOR solo mode. So I'll pull up an EQ. Any EQ will do, even a stock EQ, doesn't matter. I want to pull out 6K with a pretty wide Q and taking out almost all of it with a bell. Because that's in and around where my cymbal is hitting, and I really only want to preserve the low end ring of the tom here. So let's render that EQ, add a fade at the end of the tom hit, and crossfade between the original tom hit and the EQ. So again, here's how it was before the EQ and after. Now you can hear that the tom rings out and that cymbal is nowhere near as prominent as it was. This type of editing can apply to any drum track that you feel has too much bleed on it. Obviously, it's going to be a lot harder on kicks and snares and sound really unnatural, but think about using it on tracks like hi-hats and ride cymbals. Be creative with it and you'll get the results that you want. Now, this is one easy and simple hack that you can use to improve your mix before you even touch a fader. And I've got another huge one to share with you. It's so important that I call it the one hack that guarantees a unique, professional sounding mix. I feel the information in the guide gives such great results that it warrants such an impressive title. So to grab the guide, go to getpromixes.com and download it for free. It's really easy to read, and my students are getting great results from taking the action steps towards getting their mixes sounding like the pros. Don't miss out on all the valuable stuff they're learning for free and pick it up at getpromixes.com. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, show some love by subscribing and giving a big thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment below about how this video helped you, and I'll see you on another video soon.